Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the True Internationals Swiss Stage Playoffs. And we're going to be diving straight back into the games, and with the last match of the night, in fact. And it's funny enough, today we have two Indian casters, and the matches are also going to be two Indian teams facing off against each other in a familiar territory. Of course, myself, Ray, and I'm going to be your caster, and I'm joined by this beautiful lady over here onto my side. This side, yeah. Yeah, this side, yes. This side is gonna be Debbie over here, and I just went to get a bottle of water.
Oh, that's kind of good. A bottle of water, but I don't say that. Do I? I do not say that. But I've never seen water in one place. But nice jug, nice bottle you got there. Nah, I don't say bowl. I just said bottle. I mean, it's still
You're
valid.
not British. You're not
Yeah,
British.
I'm not. So yeah, jokes aside though, how are we getting two Indian teams in the lower bracket, Ray?
If I say what I want to say, I will be in trouble.
Oh, nah. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I was not expecting, honestly, an Indian versus Indian matchup, and kind of poetic that they're gonna be facing off against each other. Let me join you on the spectacles thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's gonna be interesting because I feel like this is gonna be a familiar territory kind of thing because, of course. Oh, we're gonna be doing actually an interview immediately. All right, pre-match interview. I was honestly waiting for the post-match, but let's go. Let's go for the interview. And who do we have with us?
Mr. Savage Warrior. Dang. Hello, man.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
I'm fine, Debbie. Hello.
Oh, he
I'm
knows
audible.
us.
We are wearing same color, bro.
Sorry?
Your guys are twinning.
Same color t-shirts. I just have
Damn.
Superman.
Are you my lost brother?
I'm everyone's lost brother at this point.
Alright. Back to
But
the
jokes aside, Debbie, go ahead. Ask away.
Who's the best? Who's the the most difficult mid laner to lane against Savage Warrior?
Let
Against
me think.
lane.
Okay. Like since they said day before yesterday,
Hmm.
my answer should be Zozo. He's the number one. No doubt. Okay.
That is good.
Respect.
I just had an interview with him. I would definitely let him know that Savage Warrior sends his obviously some regards, and I'll let him know about it. But
Sure.
that is a good one. And for viewers from international series, Zozo is the best mid laner in India. He's above Sans level. Even Sans got nothing on him. I can tell you.
Oh.
Of course.
Direct mid gap. But
Yeah.
overall, what was it? Savage Warrior. I'll just call you Warrior, right? Or the Savage. Which one do you prefer?
Savage.
Okay, Savage. Of course,
Yeah.
you're playing in True Internationals right now, and thank you for coming over here because, of course, a lot of teams were not able to show up, but you guys did. And how's the experience facing off against the other international teams?
Actually, this is my first time playing in international scenes.
Oh.
I don't know, like it's our first like the opportunity is given to us, like it's very what do I say, like
Don't worry, it's okay.
sorry, I'm getting nervous. Okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
that's fine. It's your own, we are our own people, right? Even if we are talking about international, they're gonna be facing against Indian teams only then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are
A little
so
advantage?
grateful. No, like actually we are so grateful to play here,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know like how we'll perform, but we'll give our best.
Nice one. I like it.
And I hope you guys have an opportunity to face off against the other teams as well. But tonight, I think it would help that you are in a familiar landscape, right? You're not facing
Yeah.
against an unfamiliar international team. You're facing a team that you know. It is LCF, a well-known Indian team, falls into the top 5 of it. And I think you would have a little bit of homeland advantage, but at the same time, LCF is obviously not a weak team at all. They're one of the strongest in India, right?
Yeah, that's strongest. But we don't know how we'll perform. Yeah, but we'll give them a good fight. All the
And
best.
that is what matters.
Yeah.
Anything you wanna? Okay, no. It's instead of a question, obviously. Right now you're gonna dive into the match, right, with LCF. Okay, I don't want to make you spoil anything, okay? Because I want your strategies to remain a secret. So I don't want to ask any question that would like expose any of your strategies, and I feel like that would be unfair, right? But who are you looking forward to facing off? I mean, let's just make it. This is. I want to ask you something, but I don't want to dive into the category where you'd be telling your strategy. Okay, I want to make it fair for you because I want your strategy to remain in game. Debbie, do you have anything on mind?
No, actually, I don't coach my team.
Yeah.
My Romer Yusa, he does for us.
Uh-huh.
He might have one strategy. I don't know anything about it right now.
Okay.
Safe place.
Safe place overall. But thank you, Savage Warrior, for coming. It would have been really great if you come in for post-match interview because I think we would have questions to ask about the match. Right now, I don't want to ask you anything. I want the strategies to remain secret so we can see it in the land of dawn. So, Savage Warrior, thank you for coming in here. And don't worry about being nervous. Doing a video and coming for an interview, it's a feat, okay? Not a lot of people can do. We gamers, we are introverts. We are not used to the spotlight. I mean, I'm a caster right now. I got used to it. But you're obviously a player still. So thank you for coming over here, Savage Warrior, and I wish you the absolute best. So anything you want to say from your end before you go into the game?
Nah, nothing. Thank you for having me here. We'll give our best.
I next time I will definitely ask you more questions for sure. But you also have to be prepared to answer them. So yeah, good luck for the match, and I wish you the best in the Swiss Stage Best of One series against Lakshmi Chit Fund. Good luck, Savage Warrior, and of course your team. What a humble guy, man. I honestly want to ask him a lot of questions, but I feel like it would be kind of unfair because I don't want to expose his strategies. I want it to remain in the game and we'll see it for ourselves. Of course, especially as the mid laner, I feel like his strategies are most crucial because he's responsible for poking the EXP lane, making sure the EXP lane doesn't get the level advantage. He's also the one responsible when the marksman is causing too much havoc. Most of the time, yes, the assassin can get there, but what if they don't pick up an assassin? It's the mage's job again. And of course, you gotta mid-gap your opponent as well. You gotta make sure the wave management and river control is good as well. So as a mid laner, I feel like, I mean, all of the roles have their own responsibilities, but of course, mid lane plays a definite crucial role, especially in the objective. Don't you agree, Debbie?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that in objective wise, especially because the tempo of the match, especially in the early game, is controlled by the mid, right? It's either the rim or the mid, and I think it's definitely more into the plate for the mazes here, so it's very understandable. And I kind of, get why Savage Warrior was also very nervous, even though he's going against LCF and a Indian team too, because even if they both are Indian squads, they are gonna be playing it in an international stage, so
exactly, yeah,
of a new place, a new compartment for them too. So it's very understandable. But I hope that he doesn't get that nerve, to deter his performance, because, like you mentioned, mid lane is definitely one of the most important factor or a tempo setter for any kind of composition in the game. So that's very. That's something that have to be mindful of again. But yeah, Pick2Plummet, LCF, two very common names for us.
And obviously for the international audiences, LCF is basically falls into the top 3 Indian teams, one of the strongest teams. And Pick2Plummet, they're also they fall into top 10, top 16, sometimes obviously depending on their performances. Obviously a team cannot always remain consistent. In some tournaments they are able to end up in top 8, even top 4, and some tournaments they end up on top 10 at most. So I would consider them top 10 for sure, but perhaps if you take into a broader scale they would be top 16. But yeah, they're facing off against a top 3 basically from Indian subcontinent. So of course there is going to be a little bit of nervousness, and also considering, just like Debbie mentioned, this is a true international stage. It is very different to be facing in your homeland where you only are facing off against other Indian teams. But right now, obviously, international audience is watching them, as well as the fact that they are on, obviously, just like we mentioned, international scene, right? So I already wish them the best, and I honestly want to have more questions, but right now my brain is empty after interviewing Zozo. not that
Oh,
not that Zozo emptied my brain, more so that I got so many questions that I asked him. Right now I'm empty out of questions. I should have asked him some of his favorite mid laners. Should have kept it simple,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I should have
Yeah.
kept it simple. I was thinking too much about the game, but can you really blame me? The match is going to be intense for sure. It's a best of one series after all. 3 pointers to get it into the next round and 3 defeats to be eliminated.
And yeah, it's gonna be one intense match as well. And I haven't seen them play against each other for so long. And I think LCF has been, the powerhouse for a long time. They have their changed up into their members, their players time and again. But whenever they are changing out the players, they get new but good players. Again, there's no downgrade for any kind of players that they're gonna be bringing. So it kind of becomes a challenge for any other teams to face against them, even the teams who knows them. Because even if you say like, yeah, I know this team, we were going against them once, but then the players are kind of swapped, they changed, and they got better, right? Like that. So I think LCF, they have that kind of power to try to confuse their opponent as well. And with the new additions that they have right now, I think it's a very, very solid lineup. And Tian's, been one of my favorite XP laners also, because he's so amazing on any kind of heroes he's put in. And now that the change up in the metas has been happening, the XP laners shine so fast, and maybe this time around he can be the one who's gonna be carrying the team as well. It can, we'll never know, because it also depends on the players too. And he's such a good micromanagement manager. Yeah, how do you say manager? It kind of works, man. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they're gonna be bringing against them, even if they are the same nation, right? Because in the end, only one of them is gonna be representing India again into the next stages.
Which is pretty sad. I would have loved to see both of them, obviously, but of course that is the essence of competition. One will be the winner, and one I don't want to call them the loser. I would just say they would have to try again harder next time. And then Peak to Plummet has been one of those teams that has been consistent no matter the defeats, no matter. Yes, obviously, being in the top 10 means that they're not winning all of the tournaments, right? But the fact that even after each defeat, they come back stronger than before. They climb the ranks. It is so commendable, and I absolutely love the spirit. Yes, the winners, the semi-finalists, the grand finalists, they have the essence. They have the skills to back it up. But I always appreciate teams that come after them, the ones who did not make it there, but they keep on trying. Despite the defeats, they never give up. This is definitely a sense of, a championship, a competition. People who make the competition what it is. Because without someone who can lose, can there be a winner? Never, right?
Yep.
So of course, huge respect to teams that keep on grinding. I'm not saying that Peak to Plummet will lose tonight. I'm saying that they're a team that has been on the grind for the longest part. They have been consistent, and their lineup has also been consistent as well. So huge kudos to them, and I'm looking forward to their performance against LCF. Just like you mentioned, LCF on the other hand, though, they have switched various lineups more like through the years, through the seasons even. So it is not uncommon for us to see new faces in respective lanes. So sometimes it backfires. They have lack of synergy. Sometimes the draft is off because of it, because maybe they would have had it better with their older team. So yeah, we do see those issues sometimes. But at the same time, I feel like they're also one of the most fast-paced teams. They get a new member, they immediately get into grind, and they make sure that they reach the absolute best. And that's why they sit at top 3 easily. Sometimes they also become the grand champion in a lot of tournaments, Debbie.
They have a lot of trophies, especially last season, right? Last year, they were able to climb up to the top ladders, and yeah, it was such a good way to see them coming out on top. But then again, like you mentioned, they're always so fast in their synergy, right? Because they are mostly known for changing their players, but then again, when they are used to the lineup, they will always perform well. So yeah, we'll never know what's gonna be happening, because even though it seems like we outright pick the planet, but we are not, because LCF has a lot to talk about. But pick the planet too, they try to focus more on keeping their team together. No change up in players so far that I've seen. There might be a change up into the jungle time to time, but it's always the old jungle who's coming back, so there's no one new into their lineup most of the time. So maybe the synergy wise they might actually have a better one against LCF. We'll never know, because LCF, like you mentioned, are also very fast in adapting to whoever they get in their lineup. Yeah, a little bit of a strategy about these teams is that I think Saramun is a very, very good addition to the team for LCF as well, because he's one of a jungle that I know that can play assassin very well, but also utilize the utility jungles very well too. So that can also be their power point, their win condition as well. And I think it's also a good thing that they have a very, very flexible jungler. Meanwhile, for Picture Plummet, I think they may try out the utilities here and there into the jungle, but then again, when we talk about assassins into the jungle, they perform so much better with assassin into their side, whoever their jungle is gonna be. If they are put in assassins, they are much better. So I think this is something Picture Plummet always plays around, because there are teams that are so used to utility jungles, and there are teams that are so used to assassin jungles, and I think Picture Plummet fits in the later category, and LCF fits both the category, because even their XP laner has a way to control, a way to carry, and even Asuna, right? He's an amazing mid laner, so I think that they have a lot of power people into their side. But you know what, Picture Plummet, they might just be able to do it too.
Absolutely, and I'm just wishing Savage Warrior good luck on chat as well. I obviously am an underdog supporter, because of course greatness comes from everywhere, but sometimes even the ones who are just building up, who are good, they can also become great. And of course I made a promotional reel for them as well for Picture Plummet. But yeah, you forgot about it. You were supposed to make it as well. Okay, what happened to my video?
I was also supposed to make it, but nah, that's not my thing. I can't be Pookified.
You don't want to be Pookified, but of course, jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the drafting phase, and this is going to be LCF versus Team Picture Plummet. And both of them are from India and gonna be facing against each other in the Swiss stages. And of course, under casting this, you can clearly see it's myself, Ray, and I'm joined by this lady over here called Debbie. And right now over here, we're just gonna move to the drafting phase, and we'll see the games, how it really works out. And okay, LCF has their coach, a female coach, the first one, right?
Yeah.
In this tournament. Okay.
Not just in the tournament, also. But
This is great. India always is about women empowerment, and we're winning in it. I mean, our female casters are only from India as well. You see a pattern. But yeah, jokes aside, let's focus into the game. This is gonna be Picture Plummet and LCF, a best of one series, and each game is gonna be counting. So let's see. So far, the draft has been. The bans are gonna be quite common. This is the Kalia and Uranus, just gonna get them out of here, and of course they don't want any of the action of the Fanny either, so it is get banned out. And of course they are paying respect to Savage Warrior, my dude over here with that hoodie, looking really great, and just gonna ban it out because Pharsa's range is gonna be a trouble for them, and it feels like they might go for heroes that are more close range, which is the reason they don't want it.
And I think it might actually be more focused onto the goal lane, right? Because most of the goal laners who doesn't have that much of a range is easily countered by the Pharsa here most of the time. So I think it's very understandable that LCF did went for it too. Even LCF love to play the Grander, even to the extent that they go for a first phase pick Grander most of the time. But we'll never know what they're gonna be doing here, because I really like the bans coming in for the side of LCF. They always have to take away the Fanny. when you are against big diplomat, you might want to get away the Fanny most of the time, because whoever jungles they have onto their side, it's always a good assassin player, and they always have the ability to play the Fanny most of the time. So they do not want to take chances, and you do not want to really open a Fanny too. And when you are always onto the red side, the Kalia has to go almost most of the time, the Uranus as well as the Matilda too. But yeah, when you take away the heals, you're gonna be receiving a big bad 30s into the jungle, or maybe even the XP or the roam, the Baxia into the hands of LCF. Still a flex pick, very understandable. But you know, most of the time when the Baxia is picked, the Xbox has always appeared, so maybe the carry also will pick Diplomat go down that path.
Highly possible, but at the same time, right now the meta really favors the hands of, you know, semi-assassin heroes, I would say. It's like Yushin Shin, he's really good. The Fanny still remains strong despite the fact of so many nerfs that she has received. Okay, I was not surprised to see the Granger, of course, because the Granger still proves himself to be a threat to be facing in the Land of Dawn. And of course, how can we forget about the Lapu Lapu? You were literally like fangirling over this guy yesterday. Yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday. You were fangirling over this guy, and makes sense. The Flicker Bravest Fighter combo can catch you off guard at any second, and it is insanely scary as well. But overall, 2 picks, really good ones. But just like you mentioned, the Tortoise will come in. I'm honestly waiting to see a Baxia jungle for a long time, but in Indian subcontinent, he has become the standard for roaming. He basically hits the roamer mainly because damage reduction, and he rotates fast.
Yep. And the Haya, oh wait, the Hayabus are so early on in the hands of LCF right there. It is a comfort for Mr. Serarmun there. So I think they really want to secure the comfort first, and yeah, it's so early for a Hayabusa, but then again, what you want to do on a Hayabusa might actually be better here, because whatever mages pick diplomat is going to be picking, they're going to be having a bad time. And then the direct counter for the Grandeur onto the Golem, we cannot forget, it's going to be always the Irithel who they are going to be countering. And now that I can see pick diplomat, they do have a chance to pick out a mate right now, but I don't think they should be rushing the mate anytime soon. But then again, oh, they have the Fredrin here already. I think it's a safe part for the Fredrin to come through, right? If they ban the carry here. Oh wait, they can't. They can get the carry for themselves here too.
Yeah, I love the Fredrin right now. I feel like his place in the meta is really solidified, and it's really good overall. Also considering the simple fact that what do you say again? Oh yeah, he's a kind of a direct counter to the Hayabusa, because of course once Hayabusa's shadows are gone, he's a direct prey for the Fredrin, and Fredrin is also too beefy for Hayabusa to be taken down. And also if they come in for an invasion as well, there's a very good chance that the Fredrin can retaliate back. But of course there's the Baxia that they need to take into account, as well as the Irithel, and they will be relying on the Lapu Lapu for most of it, because of course the Irithel is going to be the main posing threat to Skyzen over here on that Granger, of course. So they gotta make sure that it is eliminated out of it any second. Right now both of the hands are left to be picking up the mages and the XP laner. So not the XP laner for LCF, and pick diplomat they have yet to pick up their roamer. So what's it's gonna be is that if they are gonna ban out the mage, they're gonna be choking themselves as well. But if they're gonna ban out EXP or roamer, it's going to be more beneficial. They want to keep the mage open for P2P, and LCF needs to open the roamer. Ban the roamer. So that's what they're kind of trying to do. Really good strategic move play.
Yeah, and I think it's very understandable to take away the Rafaela too, because the Fredrin without a healer, it works, but a Fredrin with the healer, it's monstrous, especially in the early game to mid game. So I think it's very understandable. Maybe they can go for another roam ban here, like you mentioned, because into the hands of pick diplomat, they already got the Lapu Lapu, and they do not want to choke themselves down with the main ban too. So even this time around to the second phase, pick diplomat have the chance to pick up the mates first here. So it's why I have a good option, a valid choices into his hands, because mages are very comfortable. He's very comfortable on the mages and flexible as well. There are a lot of options. But LCF though, okay, they ban out the Vexana. Wait, is there something that they want to do against that the Vexana works with, or maybe they want to
glue?
I don't know.
Glue. I feel like it's gonna be a glue.
Yeah.
I have a massive feeling that's why they wanted to ban out. Peak to Plummet can right now retaliate back with a Faramis, but they would be lacking on the damage department until the Faramis gets built up. So it's a very possible scenario that this is a little bit of a bait and switch. But oh, thank you, Savage Warrior. I love you, man. You understood my assignment.
There we go. The Zeusyn coming into play. Oh my goodness. Into the back as well, into their background. So this is gonna be a double Zeusyn regime. But you know, I like a Zeusyn, but against a Hayabusa, yeah, try showing her off more, man. I can see her, but I can't see anymore. Hi, Zeusyn. Already
She's
off
my
the
wife.
bed.
She's my wife,
Okay.
dear viewers.
The wife.
We got married. We got married on the. I will tell you the date later on. But yeah, jokes aside, let's see the draft overall. And I don't get it. Why the Vexana ban if they're not going to commit to the glue? Like, it doesn't really make sense. And it's not like the glue gets countered by the Zushin either. Not exactly. Not exactly. She doesn't counter him in any way, shape, and form like other mages would do. Like if you think Zushin is gonna counter the glue, any other mage can do the same thing, right? They have CCs, they have something. You can even pick up an aura for that. So I don't really understand why they didn't want to commit to the glue but ban out the Vexana. Or I don't think particularly Savage Warrior is a a Vexana main either. But okay, we're gonna be seeing an Estes. We're going to be seeing an Estes over here to synergize with the, the Fredrin. It's going to be interesting overall. I feel like that's a decent option to negate the fact that they need a healer. But let's see. Well, how is it going to be?
Yep, the Estes. I mean, I've never seen an Estes in an international tournament or whatever the tournament is gonna be, and I think I really liked that the Estes is gonna be combined together with the Fredrin. But then, I'm not sure who's gonna be the one trying to dive into the backlines of the side of LCF, because LCF does have the Hayabusa who can go through
Only
the
Lapu.
lines. Only Lapu, right? Only Lapu works, and he's gonna be having a lot on his plate because he has to focus on the Iritel as well as the Kimi.
Absolutely, and ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on the screen, we're gonna be diving straight into the Land of Dawn, and this is the true international Swiss stages, and both of these teams are from India subcontinent. They're gonna be facing against each other in this best of one series. I am Ray, and I'm joined by Debbie on discussing this tonight. And Debbie, would you mind taking over for a few minutes?
Yep, definitely, because this is two of the best teams that we have in India that's gonna be facing against each other, and yep, there's it's actually dark into the XP lane, so this is something that's going to be big. But until the Rome side, for the side of LCF is going to be the Bakshia, and there we go. We have a lot of clear ups into the top lane as well. The help coming through from the Lemonnier onto the Estes is definitely going to be helping into the goal lane as well. And I think this time around the rotation is a little bit tough, but onto the bot lane though, there's a bit of a issue here. NT just trying to get a poke onto Dark here, but Lemonnier might be in trouble, has to flicker away, and there's the damage done. Asuna with the snipe was able to get the first blood very, very early on.
Immediately, I just left for a second and I missed out some action. And what just happened? Because the Estes, Lemonnier, gotta watch how they're positioning, man. Because right now you're playing a support and you've gotta play it like a mage. Even safer than the mage, because you're the most vulnerable position, at least until the 12-minute mark. After it, you will be tanky enough to be in the front lines with the friend rate, but until then, they have to take into account. But into the bottom lane, we see some action already going on. Anti getting poked out left and right, but here comes the whole cavalry looking to take down the Fredrin. But there is the bonk, but right now, this is the early game. He doesn't have enough damage, and he's gonna get taken down. Zappy Zane. Better watch out the next time because they need the scaling. But on the top lane, both of the marksmen going for a 1 versus 1. Kaizen, Abyss, who wins it out? Oh wait, is that a different name? Stark Tizzy, sorry, I saw Abyss Tizzy, but yeah, overall, top lane, Lemonnier again gets taken down. And right now, the next Harbinger just might be the Zushin. And I think the damage is just gonna be enough. Serarmon takes the kill into it. Oh, the flicker then gets taken down themselves. But overall, a lot of trades being made, and LCF is leading on with substantial amount of lead. They get the turtle as well, and they're leading the game right now.
Yep, definitely leading the game with a kill wise as well. 4-2-1 onto the board. But then again, this is the early game that we have. They need for LCF, and Molten Essence into the hands of the Fredin just for the claim speed, as well as the Elegant Gem into the hands of the Jushin right now. I think it's just trying to help him able to clear onto the mid side as much as possible. But yeah, this, I think, giving the early game to Hayabusa is, oh, look at that, Traction Pulse though.
Oh, already into the mid lane. That Kimmy's rocket just caused havoc for the hands of Peak to Plummet. Right now, they are plummeting really badly. Their bodies are falling left and right, and just like you mentioned, giving out that early lead to the Hayabusa, it's going to be affecting so much because look at the Hayabusa. Oh, Lapu Lapu was immuned by himself, and he actually made a counterplay, taking down Sararmon, and he's able to do it right now. But looking at the mid lane, the purple buff hit. Looks like the Fredin is going to be in a little bit of a trouble. Lemonhead does give out some substantial amount of heals, but it's not going to be good enough. Oh, it is, because the Fredin does survive overall. Right now, the Jushin Savage Warrior trying to engage into Anti, and right now the Lapu Lapu really wants to make the play for his team. He has been doing his absolute best right now, but he might just get shredded. No, clips over here. Skyzen, right? He takes a kill, and right now the next target, Anti might just could have been, but oh, Baksha might just get stuck over here, but his damage reduction is really helping him sustain for a little bit longer, but it's not gonna be enough as he gets taken down. Team Pick to Plummet is retaliating back finally, and the score sits at 6-4.
Oh my goodness, this is such an amazing start for the side of Lakshmi Typhon. But then again, I think with the early rotation coming out from Skies and no, it's not Crips onto the Granger, I think he's gonna be losing a lot of gold. But oh, Lemonade though.
Lemonade over here wants to go in for another engage, and he's gonna be bonked by the Phobius, but there comes. Oh, he ultimately does fall in, so no, oh, he doesn't fall. It's actually my white Zeus, and she gets taken down. I'm a little bit mistaken over here, but right now the engage is still going on, and he wants to go in for possible another engage. Lapu Lapu has been doing his absolute best to create the impact for their team, because he's the one shutting down the targets, making the counter plays, but for how long, that's going to be the question. Dark over here, an absolute menace, and he's probably going to be the main target for the hands of LCF.
Yep, definitely, and I never thought that Anestes will be able to do such things right here, but yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's actually such a free farm, but look at that clips though. Ooh.
Okay, he got saved for the team, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the blessing is definitely good for the Estes here, but you know, with the early rotation made by the Granger right there, I think he's just giving out a lot of goals into the hands of the Irritel. Tactics is going to be having the best goal ranking so far right now, and he's going to have the items as well that it's going to be needing. So, you know, he might just become online as early as possible. But what can Picture Plummet do here right now is that if they try to get their stop their structures from falling down, it could have been good, but the top lane already destroyed, and Sarama on the bot side just then to clear out onto the scripts as well as the minions, maybe because already the rotation coming out from Dark as well onto the top, onto the mid side. They're just trying to look for fights.
Right now into the mid phase, they're going for a possible another engage, but look, back and forth going on both of the teams. There is Sarteezy dishing out some damage, but both of the teams decide it would be good to mutually just back off, but Stark is just being an absolute menace. He does not want to stop, and he might just get punished over here, but not before Anti has something to say about it, because he's going bong with the Infernal Pursuit into the back lane. He's diving really deep, and right now there's the only one trying to zone him out. Anti will finally fall, but was it at the price of the turtle? Let's see, because he might have fallen for nothing if the Fredin gets the turtle for himself, but yeah, okay, Zappy Zane gets the turtle secure for his team, and right now the next target possibly is gonna be Rudius over here. He gets taken down, and right now the Airtel might gonna be the next one. Their side of Team Peak to Plummet has been responding back, but immediately Sararmun and Kimi Asuna over here with their combination gets a triple kill secure, but Dark has something to say about it as he secures a killing spree. Asuna looking for an angle to find another kill, but ultimately has to go back. That instant replay, we gotta take a look into it. Both of the teams just went in ham, but ultimately looks like this is gonna be a very 50-50 trade, because they both lost their important members.
Yep, and the turtle here, right here. I mean, it's just an equalizer for Pick to Plummet to try to bring up all the losses that they had under the goal, and yeah, there was unfortunately the Grander did die right there. If he didn't, it could have been a gain for the side of Pick to Plummet, but we'll never know. But right now, already the War X being built out by the Lapu Lapu here is going to be sustaining quite a lot as well as the damage onto his hands too. But a different kind of boot into the legs, into the foot of Clips here. The Grander, he's going for the rapid boots. I mean, this time around the rapid boot does give out a heal, but look at that.
Okay. Looks like a possible engage coming in because Rudius again goes in. The Bakshia really coming in handy against the engages with the Aztec, the anti-heal coming in clutch, but for now he has to go back because the backup and follow-up was not just there yet, but he is able to force them to quite low HP. Few resources also baited out. Heal ranking, of course, it's going to be Luminaire, but the Fredrin as well as Anti has been following up. Gotta give it out to Anti. He has been sustaining substantially. Where right now the bot lane is going to be falling.
Yep, the bot lane already taken, and I think LCF are so focused onto the objective that they were able to take it. Top and bot gone for the side of Pick to Plummet, and I don't think they have the heroes to try to go for the split push potential too. But yeah, back to the builds here. Hayabusa already getting his hands onto the anti-heal item, the Sea Halberd he got, and for the Airtel too, he's got the goalie in comparison to the Granger right now, so he's definitely going to be having the better build too. He's going for the third item as well, but the Ton, Jeppy Zane though, is just thrown away. Turks and Poles, maybe there might be a fight.
That Kimmy's rocket has been absolutely disgusting, causing so much menace, so much annoyance to the hands of Peak to Plummet. And right now, Hayabusa just looking for an angle. He wants to go in for a target, but he gets hunted out and he gets taken. Sararmoon, you might have just committed a mistake, a very grave one. But Anti looking for an angle to go into the back lane as well, knowing that the Sararmoon has baited out a few skills and spells, and he's looking to take down only Disguise and Granger on top of it. But let's look at it because the Lucian is providing substantial amount of crowd control. Asuna will fall. And this looks like it's going to be the possible bounce back and response from the Peak to Plummet, as the crucial members will have to go back. And right now there's only the marksman and the tank left alone to fend off for this Lord. Sarktizi, he might be able to make some kind of a play because right now he is looking for an angle with Rudius over here, and Dark just providing the vision absolutely. But there comes the absolute heal from the Estes, and I think this is going to be a free Lord perhaps on the Sarktizi has something to say about it. But no, Zappy Zane with their retribution secures the Lord for themselves, and right now they should go back. But Dark looking for the target, gets a mega kill. This Lapu is something forced to be reckoned with, and he's being proven right. This guy is definitely the strongest meta, instant replay, but it's not just Lapu Lapu. Dark has been playing it right from the minute one.
That was perfect execution right there, and I think when you have a Lapu Lapu, you want to stay in the fight as long as possible, and this is what Dark has been doing. He's just trying to zone away onto the members, and the heal that's coming through from the Estes to just make him go back into a position where he can try to focus on Stark, especially the better hero that he should focus on. So this is definitely a comeback for the side of Peak to Plummet. They finally found their footing that they're looking for, and when you give enough space for the Grander to farm, he's gonna be stacking the Capriccio. He's gonna be getting all the stacks. He's gonna be able to hit you freely into the backlines too, and I think this is definitely something that LCF need to try to focus on. They need to take down the Grander, but how will they do it when they have a heal, when they have a lot of big walls in front of him? And I think Clips is also very, very comfortable on this hero as of now. 3-1-4 into this scoring too, and definitely is going to be sticking up onto the Skyfisher as well if he keep on getting the kill. And if this goes on, LCF will not be able to have a little bit of a chance to come back, but we'll never know because they have too much onto the side. It's good in scaling as well, but the damage is going to be done.
That's the main thing, and right now we are already seeing another possible engage coming in, but Lapu Lapu this time around might have made the mistake himself as he went in a little bit too deep, a little bit too early. But the Hayabusa gets haunted out. The damage on Clips over here gets the damage, but Sarktizi will take down Savage Warrior right now. barely scraping it off, but he will ultimately get taken down. The kill will be stolen by Lemonair by that second skill, but this was obviously Fredrin's doing. Oh, Asuna going in for a very compromising position. He might just be the next target because the flicker blade comes in, flips, and he takes a kill over here. And right now, Team Pictoplumet looks like to be in the lead. Instant replay for that gameplay over there. Lapu Lapu did die off early, but he created the momentum his team needed.
Yeah, that was a good zone as well, and on to Asuna, the best member that they could try to go for. And yeah, there was a lot of damage that he was facing again, and yeah, Starkdizzy was able to get that much of a kill, but you know, that bonk, he got all the stacks he needed, and just that Appraiser's Rest is enough to take down Mr. Starkdizzy onto this Edistel. And you know, Asuna was overstaying just a little bit. He must have thought, right? Maybe he'll be able to survive, but it wasn't enough. But a quick check onto these items as well. They do okay, but no damage again.
Okay, Fredrin over here this time around will get stuck in the midst of 4 people and immediately get shredded. And right now, since they don't have the frontliner anymore, Lemonair has to fall back and immediately go back. But Dark comes in with the Bravest Fighter. There's a Winter Crown play over here as well. But Lemonair over here might get just chunked down because look at the targets that's coming in. Starkdizzy goes in with the bike, but he will fall from the damage coming in from the Granger as well overall. But Dark will ultimately fall as well. The bodies will be falling left and right, but Asuna will be securing a kill into the Zushin. But the Granger is going ham. The Maniac secured for this baby-faced boy over here. Skyzen gets the Maniac for... This is the first one from an Indian team, right? A Maniac in the True Internationals. This boy on this Granger is an absolute beast. 2 people stand against 1. Oh, the Fredrin also responds. This might be the chance to secure the Lord.
That was such an amazing snipe to up down tower. Oh my goodness, this baby-faced monster back on track again, but there's a little bit of a try for Sarama to try to contest onto this Lord, but he's gonna be zoned away. The damage from the Granger is too much for him to handle because he already got 4 items on his kit, and this might be the third, the 5th item he's going for. Maybe even the Rose Gold might matter too, but if he wants to do it, he will be able to get a full damage spot on. But yeah, I think LCF, no, they are so keen on throwing a game. They were making a bit of a silly mistakes here and there where they try to go for damages, they try to go for engages when they shouldn't be doing anything, and it is just backfires most of the time because you cannot go all in onto a hero, onto a team that does have a massive amount of heal, especially the SS. You're gonna be needing the Baxia to be into the position as well, but it wasn't that enough for them to. Maybe this time around they might try to have a little bit of discipline, because the first time they even lost in this tournament was because of their lack in the discipline that they had. But other than that, everything is fine and dandy, but they just have a neck, right, to try to outstep their boundaries just a little bit, and most of the teams who understand them just punishes them, and I think this time around Pictoplumet are also in that position.
Yeah, but I honestly think it's gotta give credit to where credit's due. Pictoplumet has been playing amazing, especially the whole combination effort that's coming in from Dark, combined with, of course, Skyzen's over aggressive playstyle. That it has been rewarding because Asuna is the most damage dealt character right now from the hands of LCF, and he has been committing to taking her down, and so is Zappy Zane. They are really committing to making sure the targets do fall, and when it's necessary, they go in for the objectives without any hesitations. And Zappy Zane, of course, with the retribution play each time. And of course, but I think LCF still has the game in their grasp. I still believe, because any second, if Kimi's rocket hits the 4 people, that's basically a green signal for Anti to go in. And at that moment, of course, the Bakshia's anti-heal combined, and also Kimi's DPS combined with... Right now, we're diving into 16 minutes of the game, and this is where AFL starts to hurt extremely. Yes, Granger can spam, but what is spam in front of absolute burst, right? So if they're not able to sustain, it could be proving fatal. So just one engage that could possibly come in right now could change the fate of the game in a second. If you notice, even the goal lead is not that huge to say this is a dominant game. This is anyone's right now, and the next slot fight might just decide the fate of who wins this game around.
Yep, and it's gonna be very important because the Lord is up around in the corner, and whoever, even if one members for any of this team falls down, it's gonna be a green signal for that team in the advantage to try to take this Lord. And I think LCF do understand that Picture Planet would want to go for the Lord as well. But the problem with Picture Planet's main thing is that they do not have an instant diver. But then again, they need to just tank for this Grandeur so that he will be able to free hit onto the backlines, which they did in most cases, and they were successful in doing so again. But one thing's for sure is that LCF, they have the Hayabusa and the Iritel who's just trying to play out onto the far lanes as much as possible, and once it's spotted they might go for it. But Rudia's though rolling in.
Okay, we are going in for a possible engagement into the Lord hit. This retribution battle will be crucial because it will be deciding the fate. But here comes the bonk. Zappy Zane secures a lot for his team, but at the cost of losing Dark right now. And the next target might just be someone else, but NT will fall. Lemoner does not exist in the map anymore because he gets taken down, and it looks like they have to retreat back because Zappy Zane will also fall. That Immortality play was there, but just like I mentioned, another Immortality play coming in, but oh my god, unfortunately Skyzen absolute efforts and everything, ultimately he will also fall. And this is what I was talking about, a good engage coming in from the hands of LCF will change the pace of the game. The Lord does get secured, but what it only does is buy time for Peak Diplomat to be resurrected and save their base for a little bit longer. But is it going to be possible because the minions are going to be charging in? The only ones that's left into the map is Zushin. There's one wave coming. The only one possible that's gonna come in right now, it's gonna be Lemonair. Oh, Lapu will be the saving grace again. Their base will be safe. They will not lose inhibitors, but the mid lane loses substantial amount of HP.
Yeah, that was a good team fight right there for LCF. We can see right here, and you know, it was a good pick off too. But the Lord stolen by the Fredin yet again. That was such an amazing. And I think this time around, Saramun also knows who has his target's gonna be, and he was able to get Skyzen down right there into position, into the position from his position too. And yeah, the main damage dealer falling down to the side of Picture Planet. They do not have any green lights to go in. They have to be a little bit careful right now. All the players are almost full build here at this point, and I think a lot of damage is already onto the hands of the Grandeur too. Is gonna be he's got all the stacks and he's gonna be swapping items at this point. This guy is a rich man, and yep, even the Iritel at that point just got the Wind of Nature to try to sustain the damage coming from the Grandeur. I think, you know, against the Grandeur, I don't really think that the Immortality could have been better, because, you know, even Wind of Nature is there, it is able, you'll be able to survive. But then again, how long? Because it's not a basic attack marksman. But look at the stacks on the Capricia, the 600 plus already onto the hands of Mr. Skies, and here 56 stacks onto the Sky Piercer too. So this means that he's gonna be having the best time of his life, just trying to force out to the tanky laners, tanky frontliners. But a little bit of a miss shot right there. Sprint. I think it was a waste there here.
Possibly, but they obviously need to survive right now. But there's a backdoor play coming in from, of course, none other than Soraramon. But into the top lane as well, we see another possible engage coming in. The Estes does give it the fountain healing, but it is just to make sure to distract the bottom lane. So make sure that Soraramon secures a turret and almost look at the spell and resources. The Granger just lost his cover as well as his rose gold passive.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be really crucial to have them, but right now looks like it's gonna be changing. Let's see.
I think the Hayabusa here at this point of the time is going to be pretty annoying, because he was able to munch down the health of the inhibitors into the bot lane too, and even to get to the point that he was able to bait out all the flickers and that. But look at the fight though.
The fight is gonna be going in right now. Dark really looking for an angle to go in for the Wraith House, because that's his only main priority. But no, he actually goes in for Asuna instead. The healing is there. The bonk doesn't really land into anyone. Zappy Zane all alone away from his team. Looks like this is gonna be a very close Lord fight. He needs his SS, but SS will get taken down. The Lord might just get secured over here. Zappy Zane actually retreats, doesn't go in for the Lord anymore. He's actually looking for someone else, but this might have been a very crucially bad mistake, because Star TZ will be the one getting a triple kill and a Maniac a complete retaliation and a wipeout at the end. A grave mistake will change the game, will change the pace, and Team LCF will secure the game like this has been from their minute one.
Wow, what was that? What was the game that we are seeing? It was a meanings for both of the marksmen, but in the end, it's actually LCF winning it out. Wow, we are actually seeing a not a one-sided dominance, but just a full. At this point, I think the marksmen are doing a really good job, and to the last part of this the Lord fight that we see, the outplays coming in from Asuna onto the Kimi. Wow. He was able to outplay Dark 2 times in a row. So it's gonna be the MVP. Oh, it's actually Rudius, the MVP, who's got. Oh man, he got 322, no kills. I mean, this is a roamer, right? He's a full-time roamer. 92% teamfight participation. Man, this guy's been everywhere.
Makes sense. He has been the main. I mean, he has taken the most substantial amount of damage, and he was the crucial factor in this disabling the Estes, and this is why they were able to come out on top in so many scenarios. But I gotta give it out to Sarar Moon. I feel like this guy, Sarar Moon and Asuna, really carried the pace of the game because Stark TZ was not online until the last moment where he got the Maniac. So I feel like the Hayabusa as well as the Asuna play a massive part in the damage dealing department. But of course, we gotta give it out to my man Anti over here. He was fighting for his life from the minute one, engaging with 4 people all by himself, just taking care of everything business. But Dark 2 on that Lapu Lapu, he has been counterplaying the Sarar Moon like the back of his hand. Like, there was so many great plays, and of course Skyzen over here did such a great job until, of course, in the last minute, Zappy Zane kind of made a mistake. They kind of got split. They got splattered all across the map. The Fredrin is over there on the opposite side. Lemonair is on the other side. There is no front line. And Healing is getting splattered as well. It was just, you can clearly see the carry damage dealt. Even though they lost, you can clearly see who are Skyzen. He's definitely. This guy is 100%. This guy is a rising prodigy in the goal laner, especially. I just find new how fine SHLT really funny. But yeah, jokes aside, Kaizen, gotta give it out to him. I feel like they had this game in their grasp, but this is what I was talking about. One mistake can change the pace of the game, and ultimately, Team LCF will win this round.
I think they do understand for LCF. They understood the assignment. They know that it's gonna be Skyzen who has to be the main damage dealer, and we can see how they focus on to Skyzen. And when he fell down, all the composition for the side of Picture Planet fall down because the jungle is just a Fredrin. He's not gonna be having the damage of damage as well, and him not focusing on the lore into the last part has to be a little bit of a blunder we see. But LCF, they are so good in how they were able to capitalize on the mistakes of their opponent. So I think that has to be one that they are good on, and maybe we might get to talk to the winners here.
Okay, another interview. Let's see who we have on with us. It's gonna be Mr. Stark. I actually have Tony Stark glasses.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
Good evening, Stark. Not gonna be turning on your cam, sir?
There actually is no electricity at my place. I'm playing on data. So.
Oh.
Okay. All right, we understand that. These are the struggles sometimes we face.
Yeah, but it was a huge favor because of the server, so no issues.
Okay, that is good to know. But overall, what is your experience like, especially, of course, against Skyzen, right?
Who?
Skyzen, Calypse, Granger.
Oh. Yeah, it's Granger is good actually. But the thing was, the MS issue was actually the one which was reflecting my gameplay, so couldn't able to perform expected.
Makes sense. having server differences in India. It's a very common thing for us,
Yeah.
especially when we face off against obviously the east to west coast. It is worse than somehow playing with Southeast Asian countries, right? Because you'd get better ping over there than somehow playing it. Well, India is a big country, but overall, obviously that was a good experience. Oh, other than MS issues, were you facing any other issues with any engages possibly?
Nah, other than MS issues, there was no issue which
Mhm.
has to be pointed exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Peak to Plummet is a good team. I'd really like to see Peak to Plummet in our grand finals of this tournament. Like it will be an Indian
Great
team,
work.
right?
Yeah. We would obviously Indian pride. We want Indian teams to be in the grand finals. It would be really amazing, especially because they have been putting in the work. And other than that, I think your priority target was definitely Granger, right? From Peak to Plummet. Do you agree?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Missing Gage coming in from Peak to Plummet. Sorry if I'm having internet issues on my end as well.
Yeah, in the last gang, I feel like they did not really check the minions of the base, and that's where we got Fredrin off. And slowly we got one by one.
Yes. I think in the last team fight, it was more noticeable because we noticed that Fredrin was away from his team. He was not with the Estes, and the whole team was backing off, but he was kind of committed to the Lord. Then he went away from the Lord when the Lord was in slight HP. I feel like that really gave the edge. But I think this was part of his strategy, right? To make sure they're spread across, right?
Yeah, we needed that. The 5v5 gang, obviously, they'll be the one who will be
Exactly.
winning because of Estes. So our main goal was to pick them off one by one, and at the last gang we did touch that.
It is insane, isn't it? The fact that even with Baksha, the Estes is still coming out on top. It just really goes to show the overpoweredness of a healer.
Yeah, because Baxia gives you anti-life steal only when you are in his presence, right?
Yeah.
So this actually is a good pick, not to that.
So right now, obviously a simple question. What is the next teams you're looking forward to face against in True International? Because you guys play in Indian subcontinent and you have been performing really well. Top 3, I would definitely consider you guys. But right now, this is True Internationals. You have Philippines, Malaysia, Bhutan, all these nations. Which team are you looking forward to meeting most?
I really want to meet the Bhutan team because we have scrimed against them, so I really would like to get a match against them.
Okay, I was honestly expecting Philippines or Indonesia, like something more of a common one. But Bhutan, I respect that. That's a good answer. Looking forward to LCF versus Bhutan for sure. But thank you, Mr. Saktizi, for coming over here. And this was a great match. Very good tug of war, push and pull. But ultimately, obviously, you got the win. And you equalized the marksman, the maniac from both ends. So this was a great set to see. So thank you for coming for this interview. And we're looking forward for you in the Swiss stages.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Good night and take care.
Yeah.
So Debbie, sorry if you wanted to say anything.
No,
because...
no, it's fine. You handle it.
Okay, overall, this was it, ladies and gentlemen, the match between Peak to Plummet and LCF. This was, I feel like, a very, what do you say? Close one. This one, honestly, I feel like I couldn't have determined a winner. I did basically say that LCF could win it, but yeah, you can clearly see Peak to Plummet also had the game in their grasp. This was very close, hanging on by a thread kind of a match, and the last, it snapped for Peak to Plummet and they got the win. So anything you want to say, Deborah, Debbie, before we close it off?
Yeah, I think, I just wish that LCF are able to bring out more lights into India and the way they're performing today as well. I think they have the ways to do it too, and I think they are very, very ready to go into the next round, even to the point that they have a team that they want to meet to. But yeah, that's about it. I think they have what it takes to try to take it to the next level, and of course we're going to be supporting them. They are a former nation as well, but we'll never forget that I think we are going to be drawing for the next stage. Yeah.
All right. Then if we have a draw, then let's get into the Swiss stage draws and let's see which teams are going to be facing off against each other. We're already over with round 1, is it? Or round 2?
Yeah. It is round 2, right? Yeah, this was the lower bracket though.
Okay, lower brackets for the round 2. Interesting, interesting. I'm looking forward to the match. Okay, bracket 2002, is it?
2-0 and
Okay, okay. Let's go for 2-0 drawing brackets for the Swiss stages.
You know, last time we did a draw. India meets India. So maybe okay. We have different flags on right now. KK Esports, they are one of the best team I've seen so far, and you know, if you do not know, KK Esports, they ended the game in 9:51 minutes.
That is pretty
That
insane,
was so
considering the
fast.
fact that what is it again? The meta right now really highly favors more late game engages. Especially considering the fact that I mean back then we also had in Tartarus, right? Who finished the game in 5 minutes,
No,
and
no,
yeah,
no.
but that was before what do you say?
Late.
All these patch notes, right? Before you could end games, before you could end games very early on, and we saw LCF right now. They're into ended the game around 6 minutes mark. So before and in this patch notes, we could see teams that could end the game early. But after that, obviously the developers saw it. They have noticing the games have been ending too early. So they made sure that it's more rewarding if you end the games later on. And of course, that's why gold laners are so much favored. So that is actually insane. 9 minutes is very fast considering what the pace of the meta is. And I would honestly love the game averages to be 12 minutes always. And I mean, 9 minutes is good. I'm saying the game averages should be 12 minutes, but the teams who can surpass that, impressive.
You know, what was the one thing was more shocking was that they had a jungle Yi Sun-sin, so that's more shocking than ever. Yi Sun-sin to the jungle and they end the game in 9:51 was amazing. But yeah, this is why KK Esports and Cosmic Frogs, even Cosmic Frogs, they have been rising to popularity. I think they are one of the best team we have so far. Say they're from Indonesia too, but now the draws are in. First team, AOA Fusion Esports with Kuro Sensei into the face. Right now we can see what they're gonna be going against. I wanna know.
I'm looking forward because Kuro Sensei was such a nice guy to be talking with. I mean, he has a base choice as well. But let's see. Okay, we got KK Esports, Cosmic Frogs, and Leon Esports. So let's do our draws and see. Oh, for a second I thought it was KK.
No, who's it? Oh, Leon! There we go, Leon Esports, man. This is gonna be a tough match.
Kuro Sensei's team and Leon. I don't. Yeah, Kuro Sensei's team. I know I should be calling, but I just want to call them Kuro Sensei's team because it sounds nice. Yeah.
We also have Fusion Prime.
Yeah, we also have Fusion Prime, right?
Yeah, but these are Fusion Esports. But why? Okay, we're gonna be drawing who's gonna be the
Wow, I wonder who. Wow, I wonder who.
Man, this is such a great matchup. Cosmic Frogs versus KK Esports. Wow, we're gonna be this game's gonna be intense. But if I jinx it, I don't know. I'm not sure.
If you jinx it, they're gonna make sure to sue you. But there we go, 2-0 brackets.
Yeah, 2-0 brackets. We have the top teams for now, I would say, because they were able to fight to the top rounds. And Fusion Prime, no, what am I saying? Not Fusion Prime. Fusion Esports, man. I'm sorry, Kuro Sensei. I'm sorry. Fusion Esports versus Leon Esports, man. I think there was one team who wanted to meet Leon. I think it was KK Esports. Yeah, KK Esports.
Yeah.
They wanted to meet against Leon.
Yes.
But unfortunate. We can see the 2-0 is where the action starts. But we'll never know because the 1 into the 0-2 also, they are so good in what they are doing. And for there are games that have been ending with dominance, but there are also games that has been ending with similar to the style that we can see with Picture Planet as well as LCF. So we're gonna be drawing for the 0-2 one. Picture Planet here, Bhutan, and then Veni V3. it's easier for me to say V3. I do not have the accent for this. Benny VDPT. If Bhutan meets Bhutan, it's gonna be interesting. Let's see. I see Parasites. There we are. Okay, can see them. Oh, I see. Who are they gonna meet though? What if wait. What if they meet Peak to Plummet? No. Wait, why is Peak here though? Seven Seas. Oh, Seven Seas is. Oh, right. The last two, we don't need to draw man, but yeah. V3 versus Peak to Plummet. V3. This is gonna be interesting though. Laos.
I apologize for my disappearance.
Yeah, you just went a Natalia on me.
I activated my ultimate. What can I do?
Natalia.
Okay, and I should be back now. But overall, yeah. This is the 2-1 brackets, is it? Or 1-2 brackets?
0-2.
Okay, 0-2 brackets. And we already got the teams?
We got Peak versus V3. We got
Okay.
one Icy Paradise versus Seven Seas. They are Bhutan versus Bhutan, no?
Okay, why are we getting that? Why is luck deciding that same countries are gonna be facing against each other? We need cross countries, bro. This is true internationals. But looks like the luck said, nah, we have different plans.
We have different plans. They're gonna be, even today, Indian versus Indian, right? But
Yeah.
there's always, the better team, no matter what the country is gonna be. So it's very interesting. Okay, 1-1 for now. We can see LCF
Where?
right there also.
Where 1-1?
Okay, 1-1. Number 1. Uno. Okay, never mind.
Uno.
Uno.
So let's go. The first team, the Uno team. Let's see what is it gonna be.
MSU.
It is gonna be MSU.
Yeah, MSU.
Damn, he got similar glasses to mine.
Definitely. No, we are not wearing
Yours are
one,
too
so-
big. Yours are too big. That's why. Actually, I had something similar, but I thought it would make me look like Nobita from Doraemon. That's why I didn't get it.
Possibly, if it is it's a circle.
Yeah.
Alright, man. 1-1 is gonna be interesting. LCF. MSU was LCF. Oh, there we go. I call it.
I love the LCFs. The team poster looks like Lentina and Asuna, just like a
Starring in
movie
the
group.
movie.
Yeah.
They are starring in the movie and and the others are the backup dancers. Sorry.
You just called. Next time Stark Daisy comes in, I'm gonna tell him you called him a backup dancer. That is
No,
crazy.
sorry. No, he's not a backup dancer. He's the main guy, the main dude. But look at that, friends. We have them here with a good poster right there. It reminds me of our, Indian teams who wouldn't send their picture. Mine.
Why are you in roasting mood tonight? You're just taking names left and right. Calm down, Debbie.
Alright, let's see who's gonna be facing against Frenzies.
Bhutan. Onyx
Onyx
Paradise.
Paradise. Ooh.
Great performance.
Onyx
I
Paradise.
casted over the game, and it was honestly great. And looking forward to how they're gonna be performing against, of course, this time around. And this is the 1-1 bracket, so they are in the need of more wins if they want to make it. Of course, they need 3. The 2-0-1s are the closest. They just need one more victory. But right now, let's see what's going to be the next team that's going to be facing. Is it going to be Team Philippines? Is it going to be Team Indonesia? There's no way I
What?
didn't cut. There were two
Oh.
Indonesians and I could not. My luck is horrible somehow.
Yeah, it's
This is
horrible.
insane. Yeah,
You shouldn't
but
be
Timur
so biased,
Puro,
right?
I'm loving that jersey over here. It looks so professional.
Yeah, so professional. It looked good when they're staying together, right? When they're
Yeah,
staying
yeah.
together with the
Yeah, strength in unity.
excuse me.
No, you're not excused. Okay.
Here. Alright, try
Okay,
then continue.
Indonesia. I swear, if it's gonna be another same country versus same country, is it gonna be Indonesia versus Indonesia again?
Let's not curse, man. Let's not curse.
It's not curse. I'm just stating the fact. It has been in same countries for quite
Because
some time now.
I said Bhutan versus Bhutan and it happened, so wait.
Let's say Philippines or Indonesia. We're gonna get friendly rivalry or. Oh,
I don't know, I don't
why
want
is
to
it?
play
Why is
this
it
game,
putting in?
no?
Oh my God! Of course, it's gonna be Indonesia versus Indonesia.
No, it's gonna be
Oh
this
no, no, no.
too. Philippines
Okay.
versus Indonesia.
Okay, good, good.
It worked.
The
So,
fact that it disappeared, I thought it was the one that got selected. My bad.
You want to eliminate them, right? Quantum,
QSA,
Saturo.
Quantum, Saturo Alpha. Who are they gonna face off against?
hey, what was the name? I forgot. Vortex Range.
Okay,
Indonesia.
okay. Got it, got it. So
My-
we have
my-
interesting matchups. We have interesting
Yeah.
matchups overall. Looking forward to the cross countries. I look forward to them
Mhm.
because they have different metas overall. But the same
Yeah.
countries will have the homeland advantage. They would know each other. So that match is also going to be interesting to see how good they fare in their international stages. So wishing best of luck to all of these teams that are going to be coming, especially for the teams that are in 0-2. I wish for the best, that only the best can come out. And I hope the teams that will be eliminated in the next rounds, of course, because it's going to be 0-3 for them. I wish the best and I hope they come back stronger. I'm looking forward to definitely 2-0 as well, because of course the winner, they qualify already.
Yeah. And you know, the ones who are in the 2-0 brackets, they are not someone to mess around with, right? They are they are the stars of this tournament, so 4 stars in one team, in one bracket. It's gonna be very interesting. So I hope even Peak Diplomat make into the next round too, because yeah, let's face it, we want our own countries to be moving into the next round, but we'll never know. They are in a dire position. They need to win this last chance. It's a last chance for them as well for the 0-1 brackets. So yeah, but I
Absolutely.
think it's a good luck for for the teams,
Yes.
I would say.
And wishing the best. The next Swiss stages are going to be even more brutal. We would say goodbye to, of course, a few teams. This is where we start saying goodbye, actually. The first round of disqualification, right? 0-3. So I hope the teams that do lose do not feel demotivated and they come back stronger. Of course, we're looking forward to the Indian teams, but I'm also looking forward to Koro Sensei's team. Fusion, of course. But yeah, jokes aside, this was it for tonight's matches, right, Debbie? This is
Yeah.
closing off. And thank you for everybody who's tuned in on True Internationals, and I hope you come back for the next Swiss stages to see the action being packed into Land of Dawn and of course in the channel for Force JL where it's being streamed. This was me, Ray, and I'm joined by Debbie, and this was it for tonight. But of course, join us again in True Internationals. Good night and take care, ladies and gentlemen.